Good morning all, CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday morning, September 28th. We are looking at market profiles. On Window Traders, SPY, IWM, and Triple Q, we have a lot to talk about, so let's get to it. First off, let's start with the Triple Qs and NQ. Remember yesterday they came out of an inside day to the downside, which basically worked for one time frame, and then they kept coming back into Friday's range. Well, here we are now, gapping lower by a decent amount, at least attempting to, with 75 minutes to go prior to the opening. Russell went out with a trend day. They had one set of single prints in B. Right now, as you can see, we're trading right inside those single prints. We're going to see if those hold. Now, ES and SPY, a lot going on. You're going to have people screaming gap rules apply, which they do. Balance rules will certainly apply, and inside day rules will apply. It's a lot to be thrown at you, but all three of them are going to be very, very relevant this morning. The reason I put it so small is we had two inside days in a row. You come out of an inside day, you go with it, and monitor it for continuation, and just as importantly, lack of. That's your inside day rules. Then we have balance rules. Well, this is a bottom of a three-day balance. Look where we're trading at, right at the bottom of the 23rd's low. Balance rules. You get close to the bottom of a balance, don't get through it, rotate back up. You get to the bottom of a balance, slightly stretch it, which we've done this morning in the pre-market, and come back in, or go through the bottom of the balance and don't look back. It all remains to be seen which one we're going to do. And then gap rules. Now, gap rules apply, but with context. So, in other words, gap rules, people are always screaming, it gaps lower, you go with it with a short right away. Well, again, to me, it has to be put in context. Right now, we're trading at $439.50. The gap is $2.50. That's fairly large. In fact, it was a lot larger not too long ago. And you talk about a relevant short-term mechanical trade. Look where we got down to. The naked 9-wide POC, which was going to be an upside destination after the 22nd, became a downside, and this morning we traded 3 cents below it in the pre-market. So as far as destinations go this morning, right now on the upside, your first destination would be yesterday's low of $441.90, filling the gap. It's $2.50 right now. For the downside, my pre-market low right now is $438.25, which, like I said, is 3 cents below that 9 wide from the 22nd. But before we get there, I'm not going to use yesterday's low. You do have another daily low at $441.21, then $439.60, which is the bottom of the 3-day balance, $438.28 9 wide, $436.60 afternoon pullback low, and $435.07 daily low. Now, we've been battling. This is the longest by far that buyers have played defense in 2021, right? We've been struggling either at or below the 50-day moving average now for days. Haven't seen that all year. Last week's low is $428.86. I've been saying now, if we can't take out last week's high, if we can't get above that September 10th upper distribution, the bigger picture is sellers are still in control. Well, they certainly are. We have 3 days to go in this quarter and in this month. Now, we're still $3.50 above it, but you still have to keep in mind at $436.10 level, that buyers certainly don't want to close below on Thursday afternoon to have an outside month down. As far as the game plan this morning, well, right where we are, a lot happening here. You're at the bottom of a balance. The gap is large, and it's an inside day down. So what do you do, right? Do you go inside day down, you go with it and monitor for continuation? Again, everything has to be put in context. I don't know if I want to take a short $2.50, $3 down. Let's see if we get an inventory adjustment. If we get an inventory adjustment, well then, yeah, it would be a better risk reward the higher we go against yesterday's low. But then also remember, you're back inside of a 3-day balance. So everything has to be put in context, and you need to have stops in. As far as a long, if we're to open and push down against that very visual 9-wide POC, maybe you take it and see if they front run the overnight low just the first time it gets there. Any acceptance below there, though, I'm out, because you have nothing, and I mean nothing, to the afternoon pullback low, which is almost $2 lower from that day. And then below that, you don't have anything to that daily low. You had a nice buy tail. Remember, we had a lowest accepted price that got taken out by a penny in K. So that could be a visual level to take a long against because it's also 50 cents above last month's low. So again, those are areas that you can take longs against at least the first time there in case we get those speed bumps. As far as shorts, any pushes up until they fill the gap, I would look for one, unless of course we start one time framing up and have single prints on the way up. Right now, sellers are going to have a couple of things in their favor. You're going to have lower value and you're going to have a gap. So you can't deny those two things, even if we get back inside of the 3-day balance. It'll be a fluid situation. That's why being in CamelbackTrading.org's voice channel room for basically $1 a day is the thing to do. And then as far as the charts are concerned, real quick. So again, here's the monthly with 3 days to go. You don't want to close below 436.10 to have an outside month down. Right now it's balance. Weekly is down. It's been down. And it won't change until we take out a weekly high. And the daily, even though we were one time framing up for 5 days, I put the daily into balance, if you remember yesterday, because of 2 inside days in a row. We've failed at the 50 now. We've traded either below at the 50 or stayed below it now. 7 days. This will be day 8 to start. Remember, we've only done that. It was 2 days in March prior. So by far the longest time buyers are struggling here. So the daily will be coming out of balance to down this morning. Good luck trading today. Have a great day, and we'll recap at 4 p.m.